Hi everybody, I'm Cassandra Solano and I'm a licensed clinical social worker in the state of California and a conscious relationship coach. So I work with people one-on-one, I work with couples, and I also do some groups serving people all over the world, helping them get clear and heal old childhood wounds that are keeping them from getting the love that they want. And today I'm going to talk about two primary childhood wounds that may be impacting your adult relationship. So the first one creates something that's called the anxious attachment style, and that is having a parent that is a preoccupied parent. So I am not in the game of parent blaming, parent shaming, but what I do think is really important is to understand how you were raised, how your parents or your caregivers raised you and paid attention to you, nurtured you, or didn't, has really profoundly impacted you in your biological development, your nervous system development, which directly impacts how you show up in your relationships. So when we have a parent that is preoccupied, maybe they have to work a lot, maybe they had to travel a lot. Again, we don't have to necessarily have had malicious parents or what we would think of as classically abusive parents to have experienced childhood emotional neglect leading to attachment wounds. So if you had a parent that was just really busy, maybe they were trying to do all the things to be a good parent, like a soccer mom, and be involved in the PTA and be the team mom and all of the things, but they weren't able to be there for you, to hold space for you, to nurture you, or maybe there was something that made you feel like you had to care for them or to nurture them in some way. If they had maybe a disability or a mental illness and you had to kind of be the parent, that creates this expectation that other people aren't going to meet our needs. And it creates what's called the anxious attachment style, which leads to us showing up in our adult relationships, maybe a little clingy, maybe always waiting for the other shoe to drop, maybe having this kind of inexplicable or inexplainable fear of abandonment, because there is this expectation just in our nervous system. It's called neural expectancy, when it's something that's been patterned in the brain through years and years of repetition and experience that has taught you that other people can't be counted on, that other people can't help meet your needs, that you have to meet your own needs in some way. Another common type of attachment wound is one that leads to what is called the avoidant attachment style. And this is where a parent is dismissive. So a parent may be present, they may be very much around there all day, every day, maybe a doting parent, a stay-at-home parent, but they were present in body, but not in mind and spirit. And maybe because they had their own unhealed trauma, their own stressors, their own distractions, preoccupation. Again, maybe they themselves struggled with chronic illness, chronic pain. You know, there could be so many things, but essentially the child from a very young age realizes that when they reach out for support, when they reach out for caring or nurturing or comfort, there are not hands there reaching back to them. And after repeated experiences of maybe being left to cry it out in the crib too long, maybe being dismissed when they were having a tantrum, or maybe put off to the side when they were showing emotions that the parent just didn't have the bandwidth to hold, to tolerate, that over a period of time, the child says, you know what, trying to reach out for attention, for connection, for support isn't a good use of my time and my energy. So I'm gonna kind of retreat within and then again, just take care of myself and my own needs. And then in adult relationships, this person might show up as emotionally unavailable. They might show up with fear of commitment. They might self-sabotage good relationships or have difficulty with intimacy. And it's not that this person doesn't want to have intimacy or have close relationships, But again, the patterning, the neural expectancy is, well, if I get close to someone, if I reach out for them, there's going to be no hands there to reach back for me. So it's safer for me to stay isolated, to just, be a man on an island. And this person might be very great at their job, at their career. Many of my clients come to me with this attachment style, wanting connection, but they've built up this kind of safety net, this fortress around them. I always use the analogy of Queen Elsa from the first Disney movie, how she ran away to the highest mountain she could find and built this huge ice fortress around her to try to protect herself and the people around her. But unfortunately, she just trapped her in there with her. And so with the avoidant attachment style, it can kind of feel like this, like we want to connect, but we don't feel it's safe. So if you identify with either of these attachment styles, maybe you identify with both, which is also common if there was presence of a loving caregiver, but who also harmed you growing up. That could lead to a disorganized or mixed attachment style where you see yourself in both. That was certainly the case with me. I could be very avoidant in my friendships, in my relationships with money, with work relationships, and very anxious in my romantic relationships. So there can definitely be a mix, but as we heal, we may go through different stages of this, and that's okay. But just like the old quote says, that we are traumatized in relationship and we need to heal in relationship. So this is a lot of what I'm going to be going deeper into in my upcoming group program that's going to be starting in September. So if you want to know more about this in the meantime, head to the link in my bio and get my free Healing Attachment Styles ebook when you subscribe to my weekly, bi-weekly newsletter. It depends when I get around to it. But you're going to get this ebook that goes more into detail on these attachment styles, along with tips that you can start implementing today to start to heal. And again, in my upcoming 4-week group program that's going to be in September 2020, we'll be going much more deep into all of this so you can get clear on what are those old childhood wounds that maybe have impacted your nervous system, impacted your attachment style, and that are keeping you from getting the love that you want, that you deserve. So I look forward to serving you, and please leave any comments with any questions, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.